Greetings, Baconists, and welcome to FLOBATHTHEGR8 Gaming with myself, FLOBATHTHEGR8. Today we're playing Warframe. A friend of mine has asked me on behalf of his little brother, you know who you are, to do a basics of Warframe. I thought this was easy, and then I logged in, I thought, basics of Warframe. There are no basics of Warframe. Warframe is a very complicated game. Essentially, well, it depends. Where do I start? I think, do you start with the storyline? Do you start with the mechanics? Do you start with the basis of the game or the idea behind the game? How the game plays? It's all very complicated as to where to begin for it all to interlink, because it all interlinks, but to understand one aspect of it you have to understand something else, and to understand that you need something else and something else, so you need to know a little bit about everything and then try work from there. Essentially, the beginning of the game, you can choose one of three characters. You can choose Warframes, as they're really called. I'm using Random Prime at the moment, but at the beginning you can use or choose between Excalibur, Mag, or Vault. And they have different play styles, or they have different abilities, like powers. They have choice of 1 to 4 powers, or 1 of 4 powers. 4 powers in total, and you can choose them as and when you want, depending on what level you get. So this is where it's getting confusing. But each Warframe, no Warframe is not more powerful than another. They're all relatively balanced, but they suit specific game styles. Obviously, they all come under categories, and they get into the finite details of specific game styles of how you play. So, for example, Rhino is, in my opinion, well, he is a tank. He is a tank character. He's a tank Warframe, and I play supportive / tank. So the frames I'm going for tend to be tankish or supportive. Rhino, in my opinion, is the ultimate tank. In my opinion, other people may say different. In my opinion, he is the ultimate tank for one reason: iron skin. Basically, Rhino's iron skin second ability gives him essentially armor on top of his armor already. And as you can see, I have 2,000 armor. I'm not even max rank yet. So that alone just tells you how good of a tank he is. Essentially, if you play a character correctly, you never go down. In other words, you never die. And I'll just go over the people talking in the chat. So if you never go down, you're playing the character right. So, and then this is where it gets a bit confusing, because each Warframe has modifications. Not as in mods that alter your game, modifications which alter the Warframe. So, for example, if I was to remove all of these mods, you can see these are my base stats right now. So I get more power strength, I get less power range, power efficiency is the same, I get less duration, my sprint speed goes down by 0.45, which is a lot actually. My power is literally halved. Health has stayed the same. My armor has dropped from 701 to 275 base stats. Conclave, I'm not entirely sure what Conclave does. I think that's just a total of what you have. So let's just go through the basics, inverted brackets, you can't see your fingers, the basics of modding. So the basics of a mod goes off a percentage of, improves the percentage of what you have. So if I wanted to make my power efficiency more efficiency, I can add 30% power efficiency onto my power efficiency. Therefore it goes green. But I don't want to do that, because the way I want to play Rhino. Now the way I want to play Rhino is based off a tactic requiring another Warframe called Trinity. And this is where it's going to get complicated, because Warframes interlink kind of with each other and they play well together. Again, you got damage per second, support, and tank. 3 roles, general things, but you can all have a variety of weapons, doesn't matter what you want to use. So I'm going to shove back on what I had, if I can remember what I had. So I had Primed Flow, And Prime Flow gives you 175% max power. And you see the little blue lights underneath it? That shows I have 4 more levels on top of this to rank up. So this mod is not maxed out yet. At all. So instantly that has already given me, or should have given me, more, well, it already has given me more power. There you go, power has gone up to 320 from 145, so it's pretty much doubled. We also had natural talent, which is casting speed. We also had intensify, which is strength of it, so power strength to come back up. The casting speed of our abilities has also now improved by half the time. So for example, if I can, I don't know if it's on here, let's have a look. Abilities, so can we see casting time on here? No, we can't. So we'll just shove it on anyway. So natural talent improves our speed of it anyway. Rush makes us sprint 30% faster, which is always useful because you always want extra speed. We also want power range, which is also useful. And then we have another mod on top of that called overextended. Now this gives me plus 90% power range on top of my 45% range, but it sacrifices my power strength. Now that's fine by me because I'm, as much as I like damage, I don't need the damage. Basically the way I'm going to play Rhino is more of a supportive, but he does tank. Let's see what the chat's going on. Words. So basically I'm just going to put my stuff back on, and I should, well, I'll say it still, keep talking, but as I say, if we can just get all these back on. Energy Siphon gives me 0.6 power rates. Basically I get 1 power per second essentially, so just to keep you topped up. Armored Agility, this again goes on top of my already OP armor, because you can have a mod, if I can find it again, called Steel Fiber. Now this will give me 110% armor on top of my base of 275. This is, if you understand this, good, because I'm a little bit lost. But basically, it's the way you become more powerful is you increase the amount of damage you have based off your basic stats. So if you want a damage per second frame, I would suggest something like Excalibur, Valkyr, Nether, which is one of the new ones. And all the tanky ones are like Chroma, Atlas, Frost, Rhino. Support roles are kind of like support roles. What are support roles? Necros, Trinity. Those are also support roles kind of thing. And they all have different abilities. Also on continuity. What else did I have on here? I had not that one. Just seen it. Where's you going? Armored ability. Armored agility. That's you. That seems right. Yep, that's everything I had. You can also have obviously different loadouts as well. So this one's slightly different, except I've gone for power strength. So I've gone for power strength over thing, but that reduces my duration, which is this. So this is so basically I have 10% power duration. This also has an upgrade, like, because you have standard flow and then you have prime flow. Standard flow goes to about 150% max power. So I would be, if I had that flow maxed out, I would just have 300 power, which is useful, but having double that is a lot better. And also prime continuity, that would be 60% power duration fully maxed out with the primed one. So then that would cancel out this one by giving me 40% duration, because you counteract all the minuses and the pluses and whatnot. And also if you want a different one, I've got see, I've got blank. Most Warframes come with polarities. Some only come with 2, some come with 3. Depends on what one it is. Rhino Prime came with 3. And what they do is they basically half the cost of what something will be. As you can see, that costed 9 is now 5. So that is a rough idea, and you have a max capacity. It's normally 30 because it goes off the rank of the Warframe or your weapon. Max rank is 30. To double the capacity, you would have to attach on an arcane reactor on a Warframe, or an arcane catalyst on a weapon, whether it be primary weapon, pistol, or melee. No, I don't want to equip. I want to upgrade. So if I wanted to, I could add a catalyst onto here. You can also add a polarization by adding a former. This is what I was about to get to on Rhino. As I say, Rhino has come with 3 polarities. It was these 2 and I believe a minus. I can't remember the names of them, they're all on here. So I have then gone and I've changed the polarity of this one. I've added this polarity and this polarity. As you can see, I had now, because if I take this off, this is giving me an extra 14 capacity on top of my 60, which is doubled my 30 capacity. Plus, I've now made everything cost half, because primed flow costs about 11 or so, and it's now cost me 5. Overextended, it cost me 13, it's now cost me 6. Still 5, it cost me like 12, it's now cost me 7. You know, so that is what I would say the basics of upgrading your Warframe and how the upgrading mods work. Basically, if you want to upgrade a mod, you come over to the mod station over here. You just click on a mod, click fusion. If you have duplicates, which is this one over here, you add duplicates. Failing that, if you have fusion cores, by all means use those. These are actually more efficient because let's just do an example. Let's just shove on. I don't want to do an augment. I want to. This is a Warframe, isn't it? So if I was to shove on intensify, let's just select all. You will see there's a blue line has gone to red, and it gave me 2 bars. So if I cancel that one, I find Berserker again. Where's it gone? Berserker. And then if I was to add on, say, 18 fusion cores, yeah, it gives me 4 instead of the 2 or 3 it was beforehand. I'm not going to do that because I don't want Berserker. So, you know, it's things like that. He's about to do some XP farm. I was going to do XP farm, but I'm doing this, aren't I? So let's just upgrade this back again. I need to put that back on because I need to upgrade this as well. Berserker. So that's how mods work. Fusion cores are more efficient or effective at upgrading physically the mod itself. But if you have duplicates, by all means use them over fusion cores, because fusion cores are kind of hard to come by, especially when you start new. So try farm as many duplicates as possible. You can actually craft things in the foundry. Let's just do, at the moment I'm making a new Archwing. Odonator Prime. The first one you start with when you do the quest, you get the Odonator. Odonator. I don't know how to pronounce it, but you can make a Prime version of it, just like you get Rhino and Rhino Prime, for example, or Excalibur Prime, Excalibur Mag Prime. You know, the only reason why they make a Prime version is they kind of slightly messed up with the original. That's the only real reason why. They make a Prime version, because the only difference they made with Rhino Prime and Rhino was the sprint speed and an extra polarity. And apparently Rhino is the only one who can move. Well, it's animated with the. You see on my back, he's got the thing spinning around. That's what I mean by moving. He's one of the first to actually have a moving part on him. He can be animated by all means, but he's the first to be animated. If that makes sense. I don't know. Useless information. So that's mods, building, upgrading your Warframe, making it more powerful. To get other Warframes like Rhino, or my Rhino Prime anyway, you go to a different planet. This is literally all the planets in the game. And each one has a boss. And you probably guessed it, you farm the living hell out of that boss until you get 3 parts. Because most of the parts, well, unless it's a Prime in the Void, you need all 4. So you farm all 4 parts. Because you can go to the market, you can actually buy Warframe blueprints, and then you can obviously go to the different places. So, as I say, if I want a Necros, I can say, okay, I want to have the blueprint for Necros. Where do I find him? You find him in the... where do you find him, actually? I've forgotten. So if you want Necros, you will find him in Derelict. And you have to kill this boss about 1,000,000 times. Because then you need to find 3 parts. You need to find his helmet, his chassis, or chassis if you're American, and his systems. And 9 times out of 10, it's always the systems that you want. You end up having lots and lots and lots of helmets and chassis. Because it's all random drops. So look at the draw. So, I'm not going to do that. But that is what you would normally do. The Void, each planet, this is where it's going to get complicated now. Each planet has its own set of drops, which you can see, excuse me, on the far right. So, in the Void, during a mission, you will find ferrite, rubido, or rubedo, whatever. You will find argon crystals and control modules. So you would do that. If you were to go to the derelict, you would find nanospores, mutagen samples, argon cells, and neurodes. But for the Void and derelict, you need keys. The Void keys are randomly dropped in any of these planets, and the higher up the tier, like 3 and 4, would be in the higher planets, like say for example Uranus or Uranus or Eurectum, however you want to pronounce it, Neptune, Pluto, Ceres, Eris, Saturn, and Europa, and Phobos. Those are the higher tier planets, and that's where you get level 3 and 4. Levels 1 and 2 you would find anywhere between Mercury and Saturn. There's also different mission types, which I will show on the Void because it's easier. You will see we have capture, kind of self-explanatory. There is a particular boss you need to kill, but you don't kill him, you wound him, and take him down, and then you capture him, and then go to the extraction point. Simple as. Defense kind of speaks for itself. You defend a particular thing from waves of enemies, and you survive. Each tier of wave comes every 5 waves, so you survive 5 waves, and you get it's pause and give you a choice whether you want to carry on or extract, and you choose either. If you want to carry on, you just carry on, do another 5 waves, same choice again. If you want to carry on by all means, and repeat until you give up or die. Exterminate, again, very simple, kill everything in sight. Mobile defense is kind of like defense, except you are obviously on the move. But mobile defense tends to be 3 points that you have to defend for, say, 5 minutes at a time, or maybe less, or maybe a little bit more, depending on how difficult it is. Sabotage, self-explanatory. Run in, go to a specific target, like could be a reactor or could be a particular vehicle. Blow it up, get the hell out of there. Job done. Survival speaks for itself. And then we're back to capture. So that's the thing. We've also got 3 different enemies. You've all got the Grineer, Corpus, and Infested. Infested are weak but overpower you with numbers, and the best Warframe to bring for that is Ember, especially for her 4th ability. Corpus are easy. They are weak against, I believe, puncture damage. Failing that, it's slash. Most things are weak to slash. So, I mean, my Galatine's got like 200 slash damage, which is pretty good. My Galatine is being my big, massive 2-handed sword. What else is the... Oh yeah, the Grineer are actually the hardest enemy. Purely because they occupy more planets. So, for example, if I was to go into not the dojo, that's a clan area. I'll get into it in a minute. So, say for example, I want to go into Europa. The levels here are at least 28 and up to 28. So the highest level here would be 28. I think it was sort of 30. No, 37. There you go. The highest level enemy is 37, and that's just the base. So what's this? That is an excavation. So say for example you last what will be known as rotation C, which is actually 4 waves of 5, or 5 or 20 minutes, because the survival, it goes off, you get a reward every 5 minutes. I didn't explain that earlier, but in survivals or excavations you get a reward every 5 minutes. Excavations, you actually, is similar to a mobile defense. Basically you need to activate a excavator, feed it power, and keep it defended so it doesn't blow up, so you get a reward. Again, every 5 minutes or so, or 5 excavators or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember. I haven't done it in a while. You get a particular reward, and the what's the name? Lotus, who is your eternal guide, who is blind as a bat, will tell you, look what our operative has found, kind of thing, or look at our reward, kind of thing. And you get 9 times out of 10 you get a modification, you get fusion cores, you'll get Arcan cells, Arcan reactors, you get a random drop essentially. Oh, I forgot syndicates. See what I mean? There's not exactly a basic of Warframe. There's a basic of how to understand it. Essentially, you can also do clans. That's kind of self-explanatory, and there's different tiers of clans that get you different weapons and stuff. Like my primary weapon, the Amprex, you get from, I can't remember what tier it was. I think it was a tier 3 clan, which isn't the highest. Like a tier 7, I think. I could be wrong. You might want to wiki it. I mean, I've now Gio's moved on to the next tier up, and I followed him as well, coming back. So we can now get better stuff, so we can become more overpowered. There's also syndicates. You basically assert your allegiance to a particular one. They have allies, so I
was wrong about you.
Thank you.
You're a hero to these people.
Woohoo! I'm here!
To me.
Yeah, go. Shoot. Go away. So you plan your legions, and it tells you who's the enemy, who they oppose, and who's the ally. So although you'll see on my chest I have the Steel Meridian logo, this is this one, and they're allied with the Red Veil. So in doing this, I've passively been leveling up in the Red Veil. Now each one of these actually gives you,
anything you need,
shut up, more mods, more specific mods, like Firequake, that's more for Ember. You could also get Rhino Charge, like here you go. So you get Iron Shrapnel, which I've already got. I don't particularly like that mod, because if I accidentally hit 2, I deactivate my Iron Skin, and therefore losing all my defense. So I don't like it, so I've taken it off. Piercing Roar is actually possibly useful, but I have no space for it now whatsoever, and that makes everyone more within 25 meters. That is maxed out at 25 meters. You'll see the 3 dots at the bottom. That once that's maxed out at rank 3, any enemies within 25 meters will suffer a puncture proc, which I'm assuming means they become more susceptible to puncture damage. Some Warframes have got more mods on them, others got less. Oh, Rider's got 3, here you go. Ironclad Charge. Basically, if you have Iron Skin on and you decide to use your first ability, which is Rhino Charge, so increases his armor rating by 50% by 10 seconds. So basically, on top of the 700, hang on, let's have a look at this, because that was actually going to be, that might be useful. So let's just see, upgrade. So my armor at the moment is 701. What is half of 700? Half of 700 is 350. So that would then mean my armor will go over 1,000 for 10 seconds. Or however long it was. That is a bloody good mod, but as you can see, I have no space for it. So I'm gonna have to suffer with that one. Oh, another thing I've also forgot to do: polarities. You add a former. I am about to do another polarity again. I've added 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna add another one, possibly that one. I'm gonna use that one as well. So I'm gonna add another 4 polarities onto Rhino, again to make everything cost less, so I can actually have more mods. Because as I say, I need 2 more. So basically, by the time I leveled up 1 more, that'll be 3. So primed would be 1 off maxed. But then I need to add an extra former on to make everything, something else cost less. Say for example, one of these 3 11s. So I'll probably put on another this mod, Madure mod, whatever, polarity, to make it cost less. So then I can actually upgrade something else, so I can make max primed flow maxed, so I have the maximum power as possible, and I can also get primed continuity eventually when the trader turns up. So I know I haven't done much in this video, but I hope this covers the basics of what I think you're really asking for. It is a lot more complicated than what I've actually made it out to be. At first, because it's completely new to the game, not everyone's that helpful. YouTube videos aren't necessarily always the best source, but then again, unless you're going to the developers, or someone who really knows their stuff on this game, you're not likely to get a decent answer. So I'm hoping I have simplified this to the best of my ability. Oh, you can also actually, what's this do? Oh, you can transmute mods to get a rare mod, or you can sell them for credits. I mean, credits and platinum. There's different currencies. This is, see, there's nothing basic about Warframe, so I hope that's come across now. Excuse me, because there's nothing basic about Warframe, as I've said about 5 times now. To simplify this all, you can choose a Warframe or a character which suits your playstyle best. I personally prefer Rhino because, in my opinion, his iron skin makes him the best tank. Okay, you have Trinity Prime, who can basically essentially heal herself and literally take no damage. That's fine, but she doesn't do damage. Rhino does damage. He sacrifices speed for defense and damage, which I like. I like to do damage whilst being supportive. And as I said, if you play a Warframe or a character spot on, like you have them modded to perfection or to a build that you like, you will never go down, even up against level 100, possibly. I haven't tried that yet, but you could definitely last out a long time. Apparently there's an achievement that we're yet to get, where if you last an hour in a survival, you get an achievement in the game. We almost got that last night by farming a Rhino Prime chassis. We did a second attempt on a Tower 4 survival, I believe, and we lasted 51 minutes. I have the picture on my phone somewhere. If I remember, I'll add it, but probably I won't remember at all. But yeah, it lasted 51 minutes and something other seconds. So literally we were 9 minutes off getting the achievement, and we messed up because one of us went down. I can't remember who it was, but as soon as one person went down, someone else stopped to revive them. 2 people left to defend. I think Frost Bubble went down. I think I was Frost and I was reviving someone. The bubble went down. Everyone else took a lot of damage because the bullets came in. Just all hell broke loose, and then we managed to get back up, and Trinity, who was farming us all the power, sodded off to the extraction point, and we just kept failing. So it's a case of like, well, we're boned. So we could have done it, and also the Excalibur we had didn't really have the damage per second we were looking for. But that's what you get playing with randoms. So as I say, we're coming up with a new tactic, blah blah blah. We'll probably do another video. I've rambled on way too long, and I've done literally nothing but stir my ship. There's also lots of customizations and stuff, blah blah blah. You'll figure that out in the when you play it yourself. If you want to play it yourself, and I do recommend playing it for yourself, as much as it's complicated as hell. If Ninjas in Space doesn't sell you onto this game, and it's also free to play, then I don't know what will, because it is an awesome game. I want to admit, it is a bit farmy, it is a bit repetitive, but there's a certain element of I want to be better in it, and I think that's what keeps me playing. I mean, I had a little bit of a break for a while because it got a bit too repetitive for me, because myself and Gio were like, okay, let's just, because we finally figured out what we wanted to do and how to be better and whatnot. There's also a mastery rank system, which if you level these things up, you get XP for that, and that unlocks other stuff, and it's just, this is what I mean. There's nothing basic about Warframe. It's all complicated. So, as I say, my friend Luke keeps asking me, I'm gonna, like, because he plays on the Xbox One, and he's hoping he can move over to PC when he can afford one. He keeps asking me, Phil, I'm like level mastery rank 3, I think he is, rank 30 equipment, and he's going against level 20, 30 enemies. Am I going to survive? And I'll say, depending on your mods, yes or no, depending on what mods he has or what percentage they are. But it's not a level versus level thing like normal games. It's a case of percentages of base stats against levels, and how you build to do the damage. And again, that's where it gets more complicated. So essentially, the basics are: you're just in space, you kill stuff. It's not level versus level; it's percentages of damage onto a level. And the ranks just give you the ability to be stronger, more powerful. It's about 5 different mission types. Also random events, alert missions, and whatnot. So let's say 7 types of alert missions. We got a little bit of PvP as well. Everybody do that. We got some news, good market. I don't know. It's just all kinds. Now I've rambled on for too long. My throat's getting sore. So I'm gonna end it here, guys. Hopefully, if this has helped you, leave a like on the video and also comment down below. Let me know what else you want me to talk about in Warframe or any other video in general, or game rather, not video. Also, any other games you want me to play, let me know as well. And yeah, so until then, hope this has helped, and we'll see you all in the next video. Until then, Baconists, take care.